Do you need dual batteries on your E-Trike? Stick around to find out. Hey everyone, I'm Dustin. I have 20 years experience in the bike and e-bike industry. Today we're going to answer the question, do you need dual batteries on your E-Trike? Now before I get into it, hit that subscribe button below, stay in touch with us here at 630. Be the first to know about all the new content we're putting out, giveaways we're doing, and of course, new product releases. All right, so right here I've got the Simple Glide, dual motor, dual battery E-Trike. It's linked in the description if you want to check it out. So, question is do you need dual motors on your E-Trike? Well, we obviously made a trike here with dual motors, but it also has dual batteries. And we get a lot of customers that they want to ride substantial distances, 10, 20, 30 miles. And I think that's amazing. Now, the thing is about having the dual batteries is when you have a trike set up for dual batteries, it has a position where both batteries can be hooked up to the controller, to the electrical system, right? So in this case, in the rear here of the Simple Glide, you have two slots for a battery, and each position is hooked up to the controller. Now, with that said, of course, you're gonna pay more money to buy an E-Trike that comes equipped with two batteries. So oftentimes I will tell people, if you think you want to go farther, you can always buy an extra battery later, and you could keep it in the basket. You could attach a bag to bring it with you to have that extra battery on rides. So you don't necessarily have to buy a trike that comes equipped with the dual battery, because 100% that trike's going to be more expensive by buying it with the dual battery straight out of the gates. Prime example is our E-Trike right here. Now this is a dual motor. This is $4,000, and our regular version with a single motor, single battery is $3,200. And the battery is actually the most expensive thing on an e-bike. They cost, $300 to $550, if not more, depending on the amp hours and what size they are. So again, that's just something to think about, is if you do find an E-Trike with dual batteries, is it a good value? Or are you just paying extra money for that battery now? Maybe you could save yourself a few bucks, get your trike at home, start riding it. Then later you might be like, you know what? I do want an extra battery, and you could add it later. Now, by all means, if you want two specific slots that are hooked up to the controller and you like having them already positioned on the E-Trike, go for it. The other thing I'll say is, just because it's a dual battery doesn't mean it'll have more capacity than possibly a single battery on other models. As an example, there's a lot of e-bikes out there that have 10.4 amp hour batteries. If you double that up, now you're at about just under 21 amp hours. We have a single battery on our rickshaws that have 21 amp hours. So no benefit really. I mean, there's a benefit on maybe that particular model to having dual batteries, but the reality is you could get a single battery version probably from another brand that has the equivalent amp hours in one battery that you would need two on another model, right? So now this particular E-Trike is 30 amp hours. We didn't have a UL compliant battery. Our 15 amp hour battery is compliant to UL 2271. So we wanted to make sure that we kept that battery here, as opposed to coming with a larger battery that we haven't yet gotten tested to be compliant to the UL 2271. So as a result, we doubled it out up to bring it to 30 amp hours. 30 amp hours is a bigger battery capacity than probably 75, 80% of all E-Trikes out there. Although now I am seeing batteries that can come, huge, 40 amp, 50 amp. The other piece of that is by adding these extra batteries, you're adding weight, right? So again, if you have a dual battery model like this one, you don't have to have both batteries installed. You're adding about 10 pounds to the trike. That's gonna have an impact on the range. That's also gonna have an impact if you need to lift it for any reason at all. It's also just gonna make it a little less efficient, right? Because now you've added more weight to it. The motors have to work harder, things like that. So you wanna be sure that you want either a dual battery or even a bigger battery, because you're adding cost, but you're also adding the weight. And I know the weight of their trike is important to a lot of riders. So really just all things to consider. But again, if you like it to be sleek, built in, and you already know, you know what, I'm gonna consistently ride 20, 30, 40 miles, I'll need those dual batteries, then that's great. Also, if you can have them both plugged in, you don't have to worry about swapping that battery, of course, because the controller will automatically do it and pull the power from the battery that still has a charge. So it'll make your life a little bit easier in a sense that you'd never have to get off and change out the battery on a ride. So last thing I'll say is, obviously by doubling the batteries, you're gonna double your range. So as an example, our base model of this, our advertised range is about 50 miles. This one is 80 miles. The reason it's not a complete doubling is because it is a dual motor. So we're accounting for people wanting to use those dual motors, which is going to drain the battery more. But again, you don't have to use both the motors. You can just use one at any given point. That's totally up to you. And that will preserve the battery life to last even longer. So I hope that helps. If you have any other questions at all, please comment below or reach out to us, theteam at sixthreezero.com, or call us 310-982-2877. Don't forget, Simple Glide, dual motor, dual battery, linked in the description if you want to check it out. We also offer a 30-day test ride your ETrike policy. If you don't love it in the first 30 days, send it back. No questions asked, no money out of your pocket. We're also going to warranty everything for 1 year. Anything goes wrong in the first year, we'll take care of it, parts and labor. In addition to that, if you want to come out for a test ride, we're here at San Clemente, California at 1046 Calle, Recodo, Unit K. Come test ride any of our ETrikes before you purchase to ensure you're making the right choice. And also join our community before you purchase. We have a Facebook group called 630 Pedalers. There's thousands of members in the group. Join before you purchase to talk to existing riders to ensure you're making the right choice. Then when you have yours, post in the group, make friends, and finally download the app to track your rides and compete on the leaderboard. So thanks for sticking around, and don't forget, it's your journey, your experience. Enjoy the ride.